Shalom, shalom, Israel. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh shall bless. I'm Captain Yahri with the Battle Axes of the Most High. Coming at you with another Monday night class. Me and Captain Jerubbaal switched. I have games on Tuesday night now, so me and J-Ball are switching. So you will be seeing Captain Jerubbaal on Tuesday, and I will be on Monday from here for about another maybe 5 weeks, 2 months. But yes, this is another great day that the Lord has given us, a grace that was not promised to us. So we want to make sure that we come in tonight's class and get some edification, get some understanding. We pray that the Father is with us tonight, giving us some wisdom. Shalom, Abraham. Shalom, Sister Adivaz, Genetics. Azariah, Shalom, bro. How you doing? Shalom, Capone. How y'all doing, brothers and sisters, man? Glad to see everybody. I've been missing for the last 2 weeks because my Tuesdays have been real occupied. So I called Captain Jerubbaal and we were able to get a little switcheroony going. So again, I will be on these Monday nights. I know J-Ball call them hour of power, you know, mine are too legit to quit too, but you know, we still, all of that, man, you know, we too legit to quit. We've been going too long, Israel. We are in a heavy month right now, a month of wisdom, and we definitely need to be on our game right now. Shalom, Sister Mary Houston. How you doing, sis? All praises to you and the family. I hope y'all are doing good out there in Houston, the house of Brother Daniel, man. But this is the 7th month, so this is what the class will be going in tonight. Shalom to the Battle Axe family, to my brothers and sisters of the Battle Axe congregation. Shalom to brothers and sisters that will be tuning in tonight online. You know, this is going into, like I said, the 7th month. So this is what the class is titled tonight. It is going into or called the 7th month. The 7th month. That's what the class is going into, because the 7th month is a heavy month for the children of Israel. It's a heavy month for the children of Israel. There are a lot of things allocated within the 7th month that we have to see spiritually as well as physically. Things that we have to do within the 7th month that are physical. Hope that we can see the spiritual side of the 7th month. We know we talked about in the class, the 7th month is the number 7 is used for the what? Completion, right? That is a number of completion. We always talk about the 7 plagues. We talk about in Revelations the 7 captivities, the 7 vows that were put upon the earth, that will be put upon the earth in Revelation. So we see the times that we forgive our brothers and sisters. So the 7th month is heavy for a lot of different things. The number 7 is definitely heavy for completion. So right now, you know, just to start off the class, you know, I want to see if a brother or sister can put the 7 captivities, major captivities, in the chat. I'm looking for the 7 major captivities in the chat. The 7 major captivities. So we can get to it first, man. While we're waiting on brothers and sisters to get in. Again, like I said, mighty shalom, the family. The class is titled the 7th month. So who know the 7 captivities in order? Shalom, Sister Danielle. How you doing? Yasharala. Shalom, sister. Glad to see you online. So be online, all praises. So I'm looking for the 7 captivities in order. Discern waters. You missed one. You was on point with it. Help him out, Capone. All praises. Yes. So we have Egypt, Assyria, Babylonian, Persian, Mede, Greek, Roman, and now the final captivity, which is America. How do we know this is the final captivity? I'm asking some questions right now. How we know? Because this is another form of the 7 being completion, right? How do we know that this is the last captivity? Precept. Y'all know y'all got to precept us out. Precept me out. How do we know this is the last captivity? Give me a precept. Capone on point tonight, ain't it? All praises, Sister Danielle. We are doing well. Thank you for asking. Capone on point, right? All praises. Our Sister Ida got the 7 captivities, right? That's another great one. Hey, Lamentation, brew on point. But we're going to go to 2nd Ezra 6, right? Let's go to that 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, right? Because like we said, 7 is a heavy number for the children of Israel. It's also a heavy number for the month. And knowing that we have a lot. This is our busiest month, right? We tell brothers and sisters that all the time, man. Knowing that this is our busiest month. Knowing that we have a lot to obtain in the 7th month. We just came off the new moon. You're gonna have a new moon in every month, but also on the 7th month we had the first day of the 7th month new moon. We share another feast day, Sabbath day, which is the memorial of blowing the trumpets. So let's read that 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, because that definitely shows us that we are in the last captivity. This is the sign of completion. The 7 major captivities. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 8. We'll start at 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Again, for Esau is the end of the world, right? And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So the end of the world of Of the heathen, right? You know, the world has many worlds inside this Bible, right? But the world that is referring to as an end is the world of the heathen, right? The world that they will continue and not reign anymore, right? Let's go to Hebrews right quick. Chapter 1, verse 2, before we get into the class. It's a great precept. That's another great precept for Lamentations. We might read that one too. But let's go to Hebrews 1 and 2, because it says Esau is the end of the world. This will show us that there are many worlds made inside the Bible. The heathen have a world of themselves, right? Israel is a world of itself, right? Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2. Well, we'll start at 1. God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, right? Hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds, right? He made the world. So we see that there are many worlds inside this world that we are living in right now. There's a sea world, there's a land world, right? There's a people or a human being world, right? There's a animal world, right? We have the bird, they have a world of their own, right? We don't do the same things as the birds do, right? We don't do the same things as the animals, as the prey, and the predators, right? We don't do those same things. They have a world of their own. Hebrews shows that that Christ made the worlds, right? So we see Isaiah 45 and 17, just main basic precepts that we should be lining up with this thing, right? Because again, we know that the 7 captivities. We know that this is the last one, right? And we say this all the time. We've been saying this. If people still trying to say that Esau is not the so-called white man, then hey, we got another captivity. And we don't see that in the scripture. CC Jr. said, Shalom Bruise, do we have funeral attire? Funeral attire is fringes, right? Modestly dressed. It's the same attire that we wear, right? Bruise, we wore garments, like we wore Brother Daniel's funeral, we wore garments, we wore our garments. Some brothers had on just shirts with fringes, right? But that is our attire. That is our attire for the nation, right? In totality, whether it be funerals, feast days, gatherings, right? This is our attire. So again, Isaiah 45 and 17, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed or confounded, world without end. That world without end is Israel. And 2nd Ezra 6:9 lets us know that Israel will be that world that follows, Shalom, Sister Genesis, that follows the heathen worlds of reign, right? We've seen what? And that's why I wanted to talk about the captivities. We seen the Egyptians as a great nation reign, right? We see the Assyrians overthrow the Egyptians, right, and reign, right? We seen the Babylonians overthrow the Assyrians, right, and reign, right? The Persian Medes did the same thing. The Greeks followed the Romans after that, and now America has took over, and that is the 7th captivity. That is the final captivity of Israel. So 7 is a great number of completion for the children of Israel, right? But this class is titled the 7th month. So inside the 7th month, there's a lot of things inside the 7th month. And again, like I said, the 7th month is very spiritual. If we look into it and see some of the things that happen within the 7th month, right? Well, let's start off with can anybody, another question? Let's get to it. Can anybody answer what is the name of the 7th month? In the chat, the name of the 7th month. What is the name of the 7th month in the Hebrew calendar? Let me rephrase that. The 7th month in the Hebrew calendar, right? What is the name of the 7th month in the Hebrew calendar? See who quit on their feet. The name of the 7th month in the Hebrew calendar. All praises, Sister Genesis got it, man. Ethanium, right? This is the month Ethanium. The 7th month is called Ethanium in the Hebrew calendar. That's right, exactly right. So this is a part of the 7th month. These are just, we want to go over things in the 7th month that we should be understanding and know of, right? Because the 7th month is a heavy month. So the month Ethanium, inside the month of Ethanium, what is the first feast day we have inside the month of Ethanium? Let me know, chat. The first feast day we have in the month of Ethanium. See if I can stop somebody. Capone said trumpets. What's the very, very first feast day inside Ethanium, in the month Ethanium? It's kind of a trick question. But what is the first feast day? New moon. That's right. New moon is the first Sabbath that we have in Ethanium, followed by what? Capone Yazayaya. Let me see if I can say that. Yazalaya. Followed by what? The trumpets. That's right. So we're going to have a new moon in Ethanium. The first feast day will be, or first Sabbath will be new moon, followed by what? The same day we'll have the what? Memorial of blowing the trumpets. It was kind of a trick question. I just wanted to see where y'all was at with it. And what follows after memorial blowing the trumpet? All praise. I said it right. All praise. So what follows after the memorial of blowing the trumpets? In the month of Ethanium. So we have a new moon. Then we have memorial of blowing the trumpets. Then what do we have? DOA, like Sister Terry, like Sister Genesis said, Day of Atonement. Right? This is a big month for the children of Israel. We have a new moon. Then we have what? Memorial blowing the trumpets that same day. Then we have what? Day of Atonement. And the last feast day we have inside of well, not the last, a 7-day Sabbath might fall, but the last Sabbath, high holy day we'll have will be what? After the Day of Atonement. My favorite. I'm pretty sure a lot of people's favorite. Tabernacles. That's right. So we are gearing up right now. We just did New Moon and Feast of Memorial Blowing the Trumpets. Saturday night, which it came in Saturday night. So all praises to the Most High God that we had a great festival Saturday night. Now we are going into the Day of Atonement, which is coming up, and we also will be after that going into what? Feast of Tabernacles. Like I said, we'll be dwelling in booths. A heavy month, right? A heavy month. Let's go to the book of Leviticus. Let's get to it. Pretty sure no Capt Benaniyah probably going to Day of Atonement this week, this Sabbath, Lord will. We just want to touch on it a little bit. We just want to touch on the whole 7th month, right? And we'll start at Leviticus chapter 23. Let's start at verse 24. We can just start at 23. Leviticus 23 and 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. So, like we said, the 1st day of that month is always going to be what? A new moon, right? So, that new moon and memorial of blowing of trumpets will fall on the same day, right? So that will be your 1st day of the month, Ethanium, right? I believe, I know Officer Barakiah did a trumpets class last Wednesday, as well as Captain Jerubbaal did he did another in-depth class of trumpets as well. So we just came off the memorial blowing the trumpets, celebrated with our new moon, and now we get down to verse 26. The Day of Atonement. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, also, on the 10th day of the 7th of this 7th month, there shall be a Day of Atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you. And ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And ye shall do no servile work in that same day. For it is a Day of Atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God. Now we know that we used to make an atonement by blood sacrifice, but we know we are not sacrificing anymore. Now we are what? We are a living sacrifice, right? Let's read Sirach chapter 35 right quick. Because we used to atone for our sins with a blood sacrifice. You would go and you would bring a turtle dove, you would bring a he goat, a she goat, whatever the case may needed to be at that in that sacrifice, and we would sacrifice for our sins with a blood sacrifice. Now we know that Christ is the ultimate sacrifice for us. He shed his blood and died for the children of Israel. That now we sacrifice our lives and give it back to the Most High God, right? That's right. Day of Atonement. Shalom, Shamuel bin Yahshua. So, Sirach 35, right? We now make an atonement with our bodies, right? Verse 35, chapter 35, verse 1 of Sirach. He that keepeth the law bringeth offering enough. He that taketh heed of the commandments offereth a peace offering. He that requiteth a good turn offereth fine flour. And he that giveth alms sacrificeth praise. To depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing unto the Lord, and to forsake unrighteousness is a propitiation. Thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord. For all these things are to be done because of all the commandment. The offering of the righteous make the altar fat, and the sweet savor thereof before the Most High. The sacrifice of the just man is acceptable, and the memorial thereof shall never be forgotten. Give the Lord his honor with a good eye, and diminish not the first fruits of thine hands. So we can keep reading down, but we see that now our sacrifice is us, right? Verse 7 says, the sacrifice of a just man is acceptable. What is that precept that we're looking for? Let's go to Romans. Now, instead of you having to atone with blood sacrifice, now we sacrifice with a just man, right? Which is our what? Which is our what? JDTHNT said, bro, could you clarify for me? I just don't know your beliefs. Do you believe that only black folks are the real Israelites? Just asking. To make it short, simple, and sweet, no. I believe that it is a bloodline of the children of Israel, and we know that bloodline deemed through the book of Deuteronomy and the curses. So we know that the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native American descendants are the Jews, the true Jews of the Bible. So no, it's just not the blacks. They love to say the black Hebrew Israelites. No, it's the blood descendants and the bloodline of the what so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? That's right. That's another great precept, Shamuel. Hebrews 10:4. But we see that the sacrifice now that we give is what? Let's go to Romans chapter 12. Right? Because we read in Sirach 35 that it said the sacrifice of the just man. What is a just man? A just man is someone who falls and gets back up, right? Falls 7 times, but he continues to keep the commandments of the Most High God. So now we know that a just man are those that are what? Keeping the Israelite, the commandments, right? Those that are what? Learning, getting more understanding and education on the laws, the commandments, in classes on the Sabbath, rehearsing righteous acts like we are doing, keeping the new moon, the memorial, blowing the trumpets, Shalaki, the Day of Atonement. All right, Shalaki, family. These are the righteous acts of the just, right? Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your body as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. So our reasonable service will be to give our bodies back to the Most High God. That means what? Come out of the wicked ways of sin that we once were dealing in, the actions that were not permittable by the Father, the pork eating, the shrimp eating, the catfish, the lobster eating, the birthday celebrating, the Christmases, the birthdays, the anything that was not of the Most High God. We are now making our lives a living sacrifice by coming back to Him and doing His will, right? Psalm 47:8, right? Now we are doing the will of the Father, which is the commandments of the Most High God, right? Cheat code says, stop the cap. Hey, we ain't got no hats on over here, buddy. No cap on my head, man. It's straight scripture, right? You're getting all script, man, right? Tell it to the judge. You mad about it, tell it to the judge. The judge is the Father, right? Don't hate me, right? Because I'm reading you the word of God, right? So, again, 12:1, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your body as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And that is a heavy precept, man. We got to be, our lives got to be acceptable to the Father, man, right? Our lives have to be acceptable. We have to be living acceptable to the Father accepts from us. What does He accept from us, man? Right? To do thy will. Go to Deuteronomy 10:12. What does the Father accept us to do? Right? What does He want us to do? What will be acceptable to the Father? Right? It sounds like this is a requirement that He requires of us, right? Something that He requires of us would be something that He accepts. Deuteronomy 10:12. And now here's what does the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all His ways, and to love Him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and His statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. This is what the Lord accepts from the children of Israel, right? Right? You don't accept nothing less, man, right? We got to get the Most High God as much as we possibly can, man, right? We got to go hard in the paint for the Father. Kind of the same way we went hard in the world when we was out here buying everything that we wanted to buy to go look good, to go to the fair, right? When we wanted to go impress that woman, right? When we wanted to do this, right? Keeping the commandments is the acceptable action that the Most High God requires from us, right? So it says a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is a reasonable service. We can't just be out here talking, right? That's what them Christians do, man. They out here talking about they love God. But the Israelites, we actually showing it, man. We showing you how to love the Most High God. 1 John 5:3, by keeping His commandments. While they out here talking about, man, you can't keep no command, we out here showing them that we can. Right? While they out here making excuses, we out here putting in the work, man. Right? We're trying to make our lives acceptable. That is the living sacrifice that we owe to the Father. For Him giving us His Son, for His Son dying for my father, my forefathers and foremothers' sins, and also for ours as well, because we know that the covenants are not just for them, but they were for generations to come through the bloodline. The Most High God deserves that from us, man. Them Christians like Peter, but they don't understand Peter and Paul, man. Man, hey, man, Peter, Paul, hey, Judas was doing the right thing, man. He slipped up, but at least he was doing the right thing. At first, he just had a bad attitude toward it, right? He just had that mind that he couldn't get right. But he was doing the right thing. Christians are not doing the right thing at all, man. Nor have they ever been. Right? They watered down everything, man. Right? Oh, well, the New Testament say we can do this now, man. We're not playing no game. We showing you how we keep the commandments of the Most High God. We're showing you that we can keep feast days, that we can keep high holy days, that we can keep the Sabbath, right? That we can love our neighbor as ourselves, our brethren, right? That we can be nations again, that we can be a great nation again, man. While you are in the bathroom, people just be playing like a mug, man. Do you see a bathroom in here, man? Come on, man, stop it, man. People just so crazy. Even if I was in the bathroom, are you listening to the word, or are you out here for jokes and playing? All right, everybody laugh at Playlist Factory. Ha ha. I think everybody used to do that. Give him his fame, right? Everybody look at Playlist Factory. Give him his little laugh. Ha ha ha. So funny. Man, you should be a comedian. Moses, what it do, bro? Shalom, Moses the messenger, man. Shalom, huh? Everybody laugh at Playlist. He wants to be laughed at, right? This is a serious matter, man. That's like you go laugh at him all the way till you get by Felicia, huh? You get our praises, man. Right? So, man, we out here trying to show brothers and sisters the necessities of the 7th month, right? And we see that we are what? Going into the what? Day of Atonement. Let's go back into Leviticus, right? Chapter 23. So now we do not atone with sacrifices anymore, but we make our lives a living sacrifice, right? So on the Day of Atonement, we will what? Let's keep reading. Shalom, shalom, shalom. That's right. Even if I was in come on, man. People play too many games, man, right? Let's get it going. Let's get back to Leviticus 23 and let's read 26 again, 27 again. And it reads, also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and you shall afflict your souls. What does that mean, to afflict your souls? What does that mean, to afflict your souls? Brothers and sisters in the chat, do you understand what it means to afflict your souls? Fast, all praises, Yashakar. Afflicting our souls means to make a fast unto the Most High God. Chico said, I'm not sure. That's a great answer. If you don't know the answer, all you got to do is say, I don't know, right? It's still questions I ask and that I have to have understanding on too, right? So it's great to ask and be understanding of that. To make an atonement and afflict your souls, it means to throw up a fast. What is a fast? A fast is a 24-hour period that you eat nothing nor drink anything. Nothing touches your mouth, right? Nothing touches your mouth for food. No food nor drink for a 24-hour period, right? Within that fast, you are what? Praying to the Father. You are reading scriptures. You are trying to do away with sin, right? Sundown to sundown, right? That's most of our fast. Now, Yashakar, sometimes we might do a fast morning to morning, right? If me and my wife are just doing a fast, we might do a fast morning to morning, right? Depending on how our lives are set up, right? So we're not telling you that you have to do it sundown to sundown, but we know that in the Day of Atonement, we will do a fast from sundown to sundown, right? What are you doing to prepare for that kind? That's a great question. See, that's a great question. These are the kind of questions I want to hear. What are we doing to prepare ourselves for a fast? What are we doing? We should already have been fasting, Israel. We should have been already getting ourselves fasting in a fasting mode, right? So what the Battle Axes do is around the 6th month or the 5th month, basically sometimes right after Passover and the Feast of Weeks, we start doing a fast like on every Tuesday, right? That's what we do at the Battle Axes, and we'll try to do that to get ourselves ready to make it easy on us for that fast that comes with the Day of Atonement, right? Right. We can fast for the Most High to get him to move for us and do something in return we want from him. It's always good to throw up a fast, Sister Jenny Barbie. That's right. Now, you throw up a fast to try to what? To try and what? cope with sin with yourself, right? But we know that in return, the Father will bless us, right? We know that, right? And we know that the Lord will bless us openly compared on how we do our fast. Let's go to Matthew real quick. Go to Matthew real quick. So one way that we get ourselves ready for a fast is that we start fasting before that day comes. So when that day does come, that fast won't be as hard to us. Another thing we do is we try to drink plenty of fluids and liquids, right? No, that's not a true fast. That boy Kivi vlogs. So a lot of people say that they're fasting. Oh, I did a fast from food. Oh, I did a water fast. Oh, I did a Daniel fast. We need to show you what Daniel did in his fast, right? What did Daniel do in his fast? People talking about a Daniel fast and they eat nuts and berries and they eat no. Daniel fasted, right? No water, no food, right? But another way that we get ourselves ready for a fast is, like we said, we start drinking water, right? We start eating fruits, things that will replenish our bodies, right? We're gonna get that. We're gonna show you what Daniel did, right? But let's go to Matthew right quick. Sister Jenny had said that can she throw up a fast and return Shalom shall make Israel to receive things from the Father. Ultimately, you want to throw up a fast, right, to try to help yourself and cleanse yourself from sin. But the Father will definitely see your fast, and He will He will bless you, man. Right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 6, and let's start at 16. Hold your precepts in Leviticus 23, because we're going back, y'all. We're going back to Leviticus 23, but Matthew 6 and 16. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear to men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have the reward. So we are not fasting to show people that we are fasting. We're not walking about somebody at work and they say, man, what's wrong with you? You look kind of tired. You say, oh, I'm fasting. I'm so tired, so thirsty, so hungry. No, we're not doing that, right? We are not trying to fast and show the appearance of men. We're not trying to let people know that we fasting. No. This fast, this vow that you vow, because I know we talked about it, but a fast outside of the Day of Atonement is a vow that you're vowing to the Father to what? Not eat or drink something for 24 hours, right? So this vow that you are vowing, you want to make sure that this is exactly for the Most High God. Good precept, Sister Princess. That's Keo. That's the next precept. He said, what did Daniel do? Get that precept, because we're going there next. So the first thing we do is that when we fast, we don't appear to be fasting, right? We're not out here mouth crusty, all white. Wipe your mouth. When you wake up in the morning and you starting your fast started at night that night, and you wake up that morning, Lord willing, wash your face. The Bible tells us this, right? Go about your regular day, but do not put any food or drink in your mouth. Let's keep reading. Verse 17. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thine head and wash thy face. So it's saying, go about your regular day, right? Wash your face, right? Anoint your head. Don't brush your teeth, right? I know people like, man, that's not, man, you can go one day without brushing your teeth, man. Right? If you're fasting 2 days, you can go, just stay out of egg. When you talk to people, talk like this. They in your face, you talk, hey, yeah. Right? You might want to, hey, man, it's all, whatever you got to do, man. Right? I don't think people breath kicking that bad, but then, I could be wrong. I don't know. But you want to go by your daily business, right? Verse 18, that thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto the Father which is in secret. And here we go, Sister Jenny. And thy Father which seeth the secret shall reward thee openly. So yes, when we fast to the Father, He will reward us by our fasting and what we're doing, right? But we don't want to just throw a fast and say, oh, well, I need this $100 to come and pop up to me. I'm going to throw a fast to the Lord so I can get this $100. No. You are trying to fast to what? Get yourself better acquainted with what? Not sinning. Because ultimately, fasting is that you will not sin. See, the main reason the church I go to sells shirts saying, I'm fasting, leave me alone, $25 a shirt. Dang, that's tough. Dang, they gonna get some money out of all of it, ain't it? They want your tithes and offering, and they want $25 fasting shirt. And I bet they ain't not doing a complete fast at all. Right? And we finna show you what a complete fast is. But and so cheat code to give you this understanding, a fast is really for you to what? Stop sinning. Because if you can afflict your soul from drinking and eating, knowing that that's what we do on a daily basis, knowing that you're going to, no thank you, I know, right? Knowing that you're going to want something to drink somewhere between that 24-hour period, knowing that you're going to want to eat something somewhere between that 24-hour period. If you can resist food and drink from your body, which is one of the hardest things that we do, because we do that every day. We've been doing that every day for our lives, however old you are, then you can what? Ultimately understand that you can what? Stop sinning. I can stop smoking weed, right? If I can fast and I cannot eat and drink for a day, and I can go 2 days, and this I can stop sinning, right? That's basically what it is, okay? So yes, a fast will be rewarded to us from the Father, but we don't want to just sit up and say, well, I'm gonna throw a fast up so I can get this $100. I'm gonna throw a fast up so I can get blessed. No, we fast to make ourselves better to the Father, right? I get it, makes sense. But let's go to Daniel real quick and show you how Daniel fasted. Because I know you heard that in the church before when people say, oh, I'm doing a Daniel fast, right? That's right. And like Samuel say, when you want to eat something on a fast, go to old Ezekiel, man. Go to Ezekiel chapter 3, and what did he tell you? He say, eat this roll that I've given you. This roll is the word of God. Go study that word of God. That's what the Father wants us to do. All right, let's go to Daniel chapter 10, and let's start at verse, we can just start from the top so we can get understanding. All right, let's see how Daniel fasted and see if the church is doing what Daniel did, right? I don't think eating the roll of Bibles is not, well, you got to get the understanding of it, because when we say eat this roll, that means to what? Read and get understanding, right? It means to get understanding of the Bible. That's what he tells Ezekiel in Ezekiel chapter 3, to eat the roll that I've given you. This was a roll. Before it was a book, it was a roll, right? It was a roll. It was roll in roll. It was in rolls and scribes, right? So it's saying to understand it, right? But Daniel chapter 10, we'll start at verse 1. In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was called Belshazzar. And the thing was true, but the time appointed was long. And he understood the thing, and had understanding of the vision. Verse 2. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. Remember, in Leviticus, it told us that we would afflict our souls. He said that he was mourning for 3 full weeks. Why do you think he was mourning? Let's read. It says, I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth. Neither did I anoint myself at all till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. Daniel had a complete fast. Yes, he was sad, mourning, but guess what else he was? He was in awe because of the pain that he went through of not eating or drinking on that fast. Let's read it again. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. And let's see why. Verse 3 is the point. It says, I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth. Neither did I anoint myself at all till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. So a fast is instituted with the not eating or drinking anything, right? Not eating or drinking anything for a 24-hour period, right? That's what a fast is. What is today? October to what? September to what? 22nd? No, Shamel. So in the Hebrew, in our calendar, the 21st, which was Sunday, the 20th and the 21st started the 7th month. So that means that 10 days from the 21st would be the Day of Atonement, right? So count from the 21st. So the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st would be the Day of Atonement, right? It's not just by the first day of October or the first day of November. It's actually the Hebrew calendar. So, and that's a lot to go into, because the Hebrew calendar goes by 30th, 31st. That's right. The Hebrew calendar goes by 30 days, right? 30 days. I know some days have 31, some have 29, but in the Hebrew calendar it's 30 days. So a month would not start just because it's May. That would not start a month, right? So, and just to show you real quick, the 7th month started on September the 21st, if you understand that. So 10 days from September 21st. But that's a whole nother class, and the brothers watching, hey, y'all need to do a class on calendars and the months and how we calculate the months. It's a lot of precept, right? So we see, if Chico, you still in here, I hope you've seen that a Daniel fast consists of you not eating or drinking for a 24-hour period, and Daniel did that for how many weeks? 3 weeks. That's tough, man. That's how we know the world is weaker and weaker, because to try to fast for 3 weeks is hard. Man, we go have a whole problem doing 3 days, 2 days. 1 day is tough. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you haven't fasted in a while, and then you go back to try to fast for that 1 day, say, man, it's gonna be tough, right? 2 days is tougher. 3 days. Hey, man, yeah, that is Ezra. That will be a heavy class. The months, man, showing how the months. Or just a class called what, the Hebrew calendar, right? And show the difference between the Roman Greco calendar and the Hebrew calendar, right? So let's go back to Leviticus chapter 23 and let's read 27 again. We can't get past this, man. Leviticus 23 and 27. Also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. There shall be a holy convocation of you. And you shall afflict your souls or fast and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. We know that we're not offering an offering anymore. We are offering our bodies a living sacrifice, right? That offering is now us, according to what? Sirach 35, according to Hebrews chapter 10, 1 on down, right? Verse 28, and you shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. So you see that. If you are not atoning on the day of atonement, there is a heavy judgment for that, right? It's stipulations on not atoning to the Lord. It said he will be cut off from among his people, right? Verse 30. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among the people. Now, this is the thing. This is why we're under grace, right? Yes, fasting is how you afflict your soul, right? That is the Bible biblical definition of to afflict your soul, right? That is the only way to afflict your soul biblically is by what? Fasting, right? But like I said, fasting, understanding that what? You are not sinning anymore, right? In the spiritual mindset, it's what? You taking away all the sin that is in your that is upon you. Whether it be evil thoughts in your mind, whether it be thoughts of lust, whether it be sin, pork, anything, things that you are taking away, that you are trying to make yourself a living sacrifice to the Lord by doing, that is how you afflict your soul, right? So anything that you're fasting is a part of afflicting your soul. But like I said, the whole understanding of it is for you to what? Knock off sin, for you not to sin anymore, do things that are opposite of the Father, right? Yeah, hey, I just do your alley-oop, man. Come on, man. Put it down. So I was going to say, the Bible speaks on us memorial blowing the trumpets and the Day of Atonement as a day that we should do no work. If brothers and sisters can get off on those days, you need to try to get off on those days, right? This is what we try to do now, right? That we try to use our days now to help us with our feasts, right? Instead of just taking off on days, now we try to take off on days that go around the feast of the Most High God. However, some people, brothers and sisters, have jobs where they cannot take off, right? Just for instance, a police officer would not be able to take off, right, unless something drastic happened or something, right? Me starting in the field this year, in the education field, I have blackout days and I can't take off days before or after days that we're out of school. So I won't be able to make it to trumpets. I won't be able to make it to the day of Feast of Tabernacles until that Friday. When we normally go out there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will have to go to work Friday, or I would be terminated. That's how they play the game, right? But that's the grace that the Father gives us, right? So we want to understand that we are living under grace, right? Memorial blowing the trumpets. What is that? That is a feast day that the Most High God implemented for the children of Israel to do in the 7th month. So again, we had a new moon that we were to do on the 7th month, which we did Saturday, and also the first day of feast. Yes, we are based in Texas. We have Captain Jerubbaal in Arkansas right now, trying to start up Arkansas. We have Soldier in Memphis, right? We have, man, I ain't talked to Brew in so long now. Name that slipped my mind, man. What's our name? Man, I'm sorry. My mind is blank right now. But we have also a soldier in Memphis, and we have Captain Jerubbaal in Arkansas. Please forgive me. I'm getting old, man. I ain't talked to my brew in a minute either, man. So if you're on class or you seeing this, please reach out to me, call me, get on my butt, text me. How you gonna forget my name? Hey, I'm sorry. I'm letting you know. I apologize. I'm sorry. Forgive me. But yes, Feast of Memorial blowing the trumpets is a high holy day or a day that the Most High God gave us, right? This is my first year in the school. I'm in the school district. But that's what Feast of the Memorial blowing the trumpets is. It says scroll up in the chat. Yes, I will have mercy on who I will have mercy on. But again, so we see, I wanted to tell y'all that we are under grace. So if brothers and sisters cannot get that day off for Memorial blowing the trumpets, if you cannot get that day off for atonement, you better still be atoning. You better still be throwing that fast. I remember when it was like my 3rd year in the truth, my 3rd or my 4th year in the truth. I was working at a cold storage warehouse. I was a forklift driver. And I ain't gonna lie, we would just ride around, man. We just take stuff off the shelf, man. We just put it on our cart. We eat, man. I'm seeing all my partners riding around, man. I had to get off I never forget this day. I had to get off my forklift and go throw a prayer up to the Father. I was so hungry. I wanted to eat something and drink something so bad that day, man. And the Father, guess what? The Father wants to hear your prayers, man. And what, about 10, 15 minutes later, that hunger that I had on me, man, it was gone, man. I was able to finish that day off and finish and complete my Day of Atonements fast. So, that is just a count I can give you all to say you that we definitely have to continue in that. I was for someone in the chat. Oh, okay, I'll pray. What's your testimony? Were you an addict in the past? How tough? Hey, man. Hey, you got to hit us up, man. We all got testimony, man. All right? We all got testimony. We was all in the hoods. We all was in the streets. We sold the dough. We did all that, man. All right? Not gonna lie to you, man. We was out there, man. All right? And people that know me, they know me, man. And they know me in the streets, and they still know me in the streets, man. All right? But they know me for changing now, right? They were like, that ain't the same Roddy, man. That ain't Big Roddy no more. Call him Yahri. He go by something else now. What's his name? Yahri? Yeah, that ain't Big Roddy no more. Right? But that's what we have to do. We have to show our brothers and sisters that we too can change. So if you can get those days off, get those days off. But if you cannot, you still want to keep the feast, right, as much as possible as you can, right? So let's jump down to Leviticus 23 and 33. Let's get to the tabernacle, because this is my favorite feast day, man. Going to the wilderness in our tents, man. Chilling out there in the wilderness, in the land, man. Just talking about having a great time with brothers and sisters, man. Sister Mary Houston, them know water fights. I'm talking about kickball. We just doing everything. Precepts by the campfire. We are having a great time in the wilderness, man. But we're also trying to get our minds in the understanding of how our forefathers dwelt in booths and tents, right? So we always want to look at this thing in the spiritual aspect of what we did it for, right? So Leviticus 23 and 33, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. So we see the 10th day is what? Day of Atonement, right? 5 days later, the 15th day is the Feast of Tabernacles. So I hope we brothers and sisters see that. So the first day you have new moon and you have memorial blowing the trumpets. 10 days later you have what? The Day of Atonement, and 5 days later you have what? Feast of Tabernacles. The 7th month is a heavy month, Israel, and the 7 is a sign of what? Completion. So it says again, 34, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of the 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days. So from the 15th day to 7 days later is your Feast of Tabernacles, right? On the first day shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein. 7 days shall you offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be a holy convocation unto you, and you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and you shall not do any servile work therein, right? So we see the Feast of Tabernacles is when we dwell in booths in the wilderness. It's camping, right? That's what it basically is. It's camping, right? We get our tents, right? Your families go out there with your tents, right? We are out there in the wilderness, basically, right? How the children of Israel, when they came out of Egypt, right? The first time they went into the wilderness for 40 years, right? This signifies us going back into the wilderness for the second Exodus, right? So we want to make sure that we understand the understanding and why we go out to the Feast of Tabernacles is because the children of Israel were always dwelling in booths, right? Or booths going into tents. And we're going back into the wilderness, hallelujah. All praise if we get to see that day. We will go back into tents and in the booths, right? In the wilderness. So these are a lot of things that go on within the 7th month, like we said. Okay, that's a good question. What is the difference between work and servile work? That is a great question. Servile work is work that you do to receive money, right? So monetary work, right? Monetary work is servile work. Work that you go clock into a job and clock out and they pay you for it, right? Whether they pay you that day or you get paid on the next check, right? But work, and these are great questions because people ask, well, what if I gotta wash some clothes on that day? Or what if I gotta earn something, right? That's not servile work, right? Servile work is work that you get paid for, right? I don't know what that is, but cheat code, but the Lord said you gotta add 6 more days to it. And honestly, we do 4 days because we are in captivity. A lot of us can't get 1 or 2 days off. Some brothers and sisters can go out there for the whole 4 days, but eventually we want to try to get to the whole 7 days, right? So we want to make sure that we try to keep the feast in its proper way, right? We want to make sure that we try to get out there for 7 days, but we want to make sure that we can at least do as many days as we possibly can out there in the wilderness. And I'm gonna tell you, we started out doing 2-3 days, then we went to 4 days. And I'm telling you, man, we be tired. It's gonna show you. It's gonna show you, man. It's gonna make you or break you out there, man. Some people can't hang. They can't hang. Others, man, we have a great time, man. We out there, right? Thursday to Sunday, to Sunday evening. So those are 3 big high holy days in the month of Ethanium. Ethanium is the 7th month. 7 is a sign of completion. We had the 7 captivities that brothers and sisters spoke on that they put in the chat. We had the 7 plagues in the book of Revelation. The 7 churches. That's another thing. Can any brother or sister put the 7 churches in the chat? See if brothers and sisters still paying attention before we get out of here, man. We got a few more precepts and we'll get out of here. But I want to see if brothers and sisters know the 7 churches. What are the 7 churches in the book of Revelation, man? The 7 churches. Anybody know the 7 churches? Well, the 7 spirits are also in the book of Revelation in the Revelation 15 and 16. Well, I want y'all to give me the name of the 7 churches. What is the name of the 7 churches? Ain't nothing wrong. Google it. Google it. Let's see what it is. See if you can beat one of these Hebrew brothers and sisters. See if they type game faster than your Google game, man. What is the name of the 7 churches in the book of Revelation? Shalom, I just arrived. What's the date of the tabernacle? This is my first year doing it. So we will be in our tabernacles on October 9th through the 12th. Philadelphia is one cheat code, but it's 7 of them. Okay, Issachar said Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamos, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. That is right. These are the 7 churches in the book of Revelation. These are the 7 churches. The 7 churches represent 7 camps of Israel, basically. There were good camps that did the right thing, and there were camps that did the wrong thing. What were the 2 good camps or the good churches? Anybody know the 2 good churches in Revelation? There were 2. Out of those 7, that brother, I can't see your name, Yashakar put, out of those 7 churches, what were the 2 good churches? We congregate every Sabbath, every Saturday. We don't worry about the Quran. We don't do the unholy Quran. Philadelphia was one good church. Give me the other one. Who got the other one? Yeah, we don't deal with the Quran, the unholy Quran at all. Philadelphia and Smyrna. All praises, Brother Capone, man. Thank you. My wife, she said the same thing. Good job, brothers and sisters, man. Smyrna and Philadelphia were the good churches in Revelation chapter 2 on down. It gives you the understanding of what the good behaviors they had or the bad behaviors they had, right? He said, I told him. You told him 1, man. You had 1. You Google 1. But, yeah, so 7 again. That's why I wanted to do a class called the 7th month, because 7 is a heavy sign for completion, right? I want to touch on a few things before I go, because if brothers and sisters understand, a lot of things happen. He said, should I get the point? I don't know, man. You got 1. You might get, what's 1 7? What's 1 over 7? Whatever percent that is, that's what you get, man. Right? But in the 7th month, a lot happened in the 7th month. I'm talking about throughout history. Any brothers and sisters know any major historical events that happened during the 7th month? If brothers and sisters know any major historical facts that happened in the 7th month. Shalom, my crown bit. What it do, bro? Shalom. Nah. I told you, bro. We ain't dealing with no lie. No, we that. It might be your God, or yo, we ain't dealing with that. That ain't our God. Nah, we don't play them games at all. Yeah, we bust that down, man. Yeah, we'll bust that down. They said all we do is talk hate. Man, that's crazy, because all we do is tell brothers and sisters that they the greatest people on the planet. Is that hateful? To show you how to keep the Bible and to keep high holy days, that's hateful? Beauty and Power said we came out of the wilderness in the 7th month. partially. Okay? Partially, so one major fact, anybody got any other event that they can say that happened in history, a heavy event in history that happened within the 7th month? What about the white people? What about the Asians? What about the East Indian? What about the Ethiopian? What about all of them? We don't care about them. We care about our people, man. Right? We care about our people. The Lord made 18 nations in the Bible. We worried about that one nation of people, and that's the children of Israel. All right? We worried about the 12 tribes. I got it before Capone. Oh, okay. She said she got it before you, Capone. So, all right. Well, we got to go back and see who really got it first. But one major historical fact that happened within the 7th month was the dedication of the temple, Solomon's temple. When we dedicated Solomon's temple, that was one key factor that happened within the 7th month. Let's prove it. Let's go to 1 Kings right quick, chapter 7. Real quick, we got a few historical events we're going to go over, and we'll get out of here. The 7th month is heavy for the children of Israel. Like I said, one major thing that happened was the dedication of Solomon's temple, right? What they're saying, we're all spiritual Israel. No. No, sir. Ain't no such thing as a spiritual Israelite. I cannot become a spiritual Asian man, right? I tell people this all the time. Think about this cheat code. I can eat all the lo mein, all the fried rice, I can do my eyes like this as much as I want to. I can sing Oriental songs all day long. I can go around with the little wax on, wax off all day long, but it will never make me a true Chinese man. Now I can follow their customs. I can wear the little dresses that they wear, right? I can eat the food that they eat, right? I can try to look like them, right? But I can no way, fashion, or form actually be an Asian man, no matter how much I try. Do you understand that? That's another good question. He said, what gate the spirit Israelites going to? So, if I cannot be a spiritual Asian, how can somebody become a spiritual Israelite? Because Israelites are bloodline descendants. So this is bloodline that we're talking about. So you can keep our customs, right? You can keep our laws, but you will never be a true Israelite, right? Unless you are of the bloodline descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We ain't talking about skin color. H-Town boy, we ain't talking about skin color. It's a bloodline thing, baby. We ain't talking about skin color. The Israelites come in all shades. You have some Israelites that are in a light tone shade, all the way to darker Israelites. Me, right? Even darker than me, even lighter than Edomites, right? Capt Benaniyah always say this. You look at Bob Marley and you think that he's a so-called black man, but his father's the Edomite. He's a so-called white man. So Bob Marley wouldn't even be a so-called black man. He would be a so-called white man. He said, interesting, Jacob's bloodline is Abraham's blood, but Abraham wasn't an Israelite. Was Abraham of the bloodline, though? Was he of the bloodline? See, people love to go there, right? But was he or was he not of the bloodline? See, that's what we're talking about. It's a bloodline thing. Okay, you say Abraham wasn't an Israelite, but was he included or incorporated in the bloodline? Yes, he was. You can go through the Bible and see who are in that bloodline. There are 12 gates, H-Town. You laughing like it's funny. The Bible speaks of 12 gates. This is how we know people don't read their Bibles, man. They just go into church and they listen to what somebody told them, and they listen to pastor tell them it's one gate to get into the kingdom when the Bible speaks of 12 gates, man. That's right. Christ is in the bloodline. See, y'all love to talk, but y'all don't understand. Christ came through that same bloodline. Is Christ not of the seed of Jesse? Jesse was the father of David. Is David not a so-called Israelite? I mean, not a so-called Israelite, a so-called black man? Yeah, everything y'all talking about, man, y'all got to come on with it, man. Hey, we studied up, man. We don't play the games over here, y'all. And guess what? I'm not trying to even go at y'all hard right now. I'm at the end of my class, so I'm really just giving y'all the time that y'all really want to give, because we see this all the time. This is for our understanding, right? David was a so-called black man. That's right. If we are what our fathers are, that means Jacob would be what his father is. What was Abraham? Who was Jacob's father? Did not the Lord tell Jacob that his name would be changed to Israel, a prince of power? Abraham had who? Isaac. Isaac had who? Jacob, right? That is the bloodline that runs through the children of Israel, right? That bloodline are the sons of God, which shows you it skips Cain and goes right to Seth, right? When you go to Genesis chapter 5, you'll see that bloodline starts, right? It'll show you the exact bloodline. It'll show you Adam, right? Then it skips Cain. Why? Because he was not of the bloodline because of his wicked deeds, right? Then it goes to Seth, then Enos, then Enoch, then Noah. This is all through the same bloodline. You can say that we're not Israelites, but they are still of the same bloodline. One bloodline. This bloodline does not change. Y'all can try to go where you want to go, but the bloodline does not change, brothers and sisters. Christ is of the bloodline, right? Christ was of the seed of David, right? And then I guess that, so Christ a black man? You're damn right, right? You're damn right. Oh man, watch yourself, man. Second Samuel chapter 7, right quick. 2 Samuel 7 and 12. And when the days were fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. Solomon, right? David's son was Solomon, right? Let's keep reading. He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. This is going into Solomon. Like I told you, Solomon's temple was built in the 7th month, right? It says, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of iron, with the rod of men, and with the stripes of children of men. Watch this. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. So we see that this changed from Solomon into going into who? Christ, right? Again, 14, I will be his father, he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of children of men. Who was chastening with the rod of men? Was not Christ chastening with the rod of men, right? Another great precept, Solomon, I'll put up there, Hebrews 7 and 14. It is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah. Is Judah not one of the 12 tribes of Israel? How you know what color God is? That's a good question. H-Town. See, I knew you was going to start asking some good questions sooner or later, H-Town. I know you came over here with that argumentative spirit. I say, watch this brother. Watch the Lord use this brother and put on his spirit to ask a damn good question. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 10. Christ said, if you seen me, you seen what? The Father, right? Because I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you got a son, H-Town, but I guarantee if you got a son, he looks something like you, right? All right? And this is what Christ is saying. Hebrews 10 and 6. It says, his body was also like the beryl, his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms, his feet like the color of polished brass, and the voice of his words like a voice of multitude. And I, Daniel, alone saw the vision of men that were in the vision, but a great quaking fell upon him. Let's jump over to 9. So that shows you his appearance, but I want something even better than that. because I want you to really see the understanding, right? Hey, they still talking about what? Y'all gotta follow us, man. Y'all gotta follow us. Jump down to 7 right quick. Let's go back real quick. I want you to see this. 7 and... Alright, we'll just get straight to the point. I beheld 7 and 9. Watch this. Read this. Daniel 7 and 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. Can anybody tell me who the Ancient of Days is? Yeah, we went to 10 and 6, but I wanted to go to 9 and 7 right quick and show him exactly what it's saying. Yeah, I did call a white woman a dog. They are. They need to have leashes on them. Yeah, they need to have leashes on them. That's right. That's right. Joel Martin, Sister Mary Houston. Who is the Ancient of Days? Who is before days? Who is the only person equivalent to before days? H-Town. Yahweh, right? The Father, the Most High God, right? It says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, right? He did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire. Now, these are the same attributes of Christ, right? It said he had what? Hair was white as snow. Right, like the hair was like the pure wool. So he had white colored hair and woolly textured hair, right? And he also sat on the throne. No cheat code. This is the Most High God. Christ is not the Ancient of Days. Christ was formed, right? The Father is before Ancient of Days. The Most High God. Christ and the Father are not the same people, man. I know that's probably what you think. Everybody, Christians love to say that. Christ is God. Christ is a God, but he is not the Most High God. The Most High God is the Father. Christ is the Son, right? This dude keep on talking about Jesus' ship. Oh, man, y'all crazy, man. All right? So, understand, Christ is the only begotten, meaning that's right, begotten Son. That's a great point too, Joel Martin. He was the begotten, meaning he was created. That's right. Yes, that was the second witness for the Most High God being the Ancient of Days. We went to Daniel 10 and 6, and then we went to Daniel 7 and 9. Because the Ancient of Days, the only person before days, is the Most High God. No, Christ is sitting at the right hand of God. Not God. God ain't sitting at the right hand of himself. Christ is sitting on the right hand of the Most High God. I see you, Soldier Donovan, in the building, man. Soldier Donovan, let's read that Psalm 102. Psalm 102, verse 25. Let's read that, man. It says, of old hast thou laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of thy hands. They shall perish, but thou shalt endure. Yea, all of them shall wax old like a garment. As a vesture shalt thou change them, and they shall be changed. But thou art the same, and thy years shall have no end. That is the Most High God's work, who has no ending, no beginning. The beginning and ending of the Father is not calculated, right? We know that Christ had a beginning because he was begotten, like the brother Joel Martin put in the scripture, right? Great precept, man. That was a great precept, Soldier Donovan, man. That's another one, Proverbs 30 and 4. What is his name and what is his son's name, right? Brothers and sisters, man, great precepts, man. So, again, we're going to get out of here, y'all. I know I kept y'all a long time. We got some brothers and sisters in the chat. But one great historical fact that happened, he said, Christ, what did he say? Christ was also before days. No. Christ was not before days, man. Christ was not before days. No, the Father said in the beginning, right? But let's go to John right quick, real quick. I want to show you something. Hey, this Bible is tough, y'all. Y'all gotta study it, man. You gotta really study this Bible, man, to get a. The Bible says, "Study to show yourself approved." You really gotta look into this thing so you can have the right understanding of it. Okay. Again, watch this. John 1:1. It says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God," right? And the Word was God, right? The same in the same beginning with God. So this beginning is before. Watch this, Genesis 1:1. It said, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the earth." So this beginning is Christ, is the Most High God forming Christ in John, right? This is the Most High God forming Christ in John. Now when we get to Genesis 1:1, this is the first account that we get of the Father after making Christ, getting ready to make the worlds, right? They don't understand it, man. Christ is a creative preacher, I know it. That's kind of tough for y'all to understand, but you have to have a spiritual aspect to understand what we're going into. In the beginning, the Word was God and the Word was with God, right? So this is the Most High God creating the Word, which was Christ, His Son, in this beginning, right? But when Genesis, when in the beginning, when there was darkness upon the earth, this beginning is after that beginning, because now this is the beginning of what mankind coming to form, right? It's kind of tough, but I hope you follow with me. But some things, it's too hard if you haven't had the understanding or the teaching of the Word of God like we have, man. That's right. Colossians 1:13, great precept. "Who has delivered us from the power of darkness and has translated us into the kingdom of His dear Son." Hey, man, I'm going to read that again, right? Colossians 1:13. "Who has delivered us from the power of darkness and has translated us into the kingdom of His dear Son." The kingdom of His dear Son. How can Christ be the same as the Father when He is the Son? You said, what am I missing? You're missing that the Most High God is the Creator. Christ was a creation of the Creator. Not yet. Because Christ's kingdom, He gonna reign forever with equity, with truth. We're not in the kingdom of Christ. We're in the kingdom of the heathen right now. That's what we talked about in the beginning of class. Now you said, what am I missing? Hey, tell them again, you missing the commandments, buddy. So another key point that happened within the 7th month was the Ark of Noah that came to a rest. After the world was flooded, the Ark that Noah built, it came to a rest in the 7th month. Let's go to Genesis. We're here. Let's go to Genesis real quick. We're going to get out of here, y'all. Hey, I'm not going to lie. I appreciate y'all for coming in, cheat code, and all y'all, because one thing y'all didn't do is y'all wasn't disrespectful, man. It's okay to come in and push your belief and say what you believe in and try to get understanding, but just don't be disrespectful, and you wasn't disrespectful. So I can honestly say I appreciate that, but we gonna get you right, man. Brothers and sisters, get you right in the chat. We gonna get you right with the word, with the class, and we gonna try to get that, whatever that spirit is that y'all once had on you, off you. No. See, you still missing it. He said the Father gave Christ the power. Stop right there. Who gave Christ the power? The Father gave Christ the power. The Father gave the Son the power. Do you understand what you're saying? The Father gave the Son the power. It's in Matthew 28 too. He gave them all power, right? We understand that. But Soldier Dunn put in the chat, Colossians 1:13, right? Into His Son's kingdom, man, right? Oh, was that Gabriel in the building? Shalom, how you doing, bro? Man, the Son, in that, like I said, if you was with me in Genesis, in that beginning, Christ was with the Father, because Christ created the heavens and the earth. But Christ was created. Chico, was not Christ created? Was not Christ created, Chico? Yes, created by the Father. So how can they be the same if the Creator created Christ? Do you not see that? That's what you're missing. That's what you're missing. The Father created Christ, the Son, right? Okay, but you're trying to say that. So say it again, yeah, for real. Cause I'm sure that you saying they the same. What are you saying then, Chico? Christ, what? Okay, that and Jerubbaal say this all the time, right? But he is not the Ancient of Days. Because before there was a day, the Father was that, what was that creator. Again, when I went to John 1 and 1, I showed you that was when the Father created Christ in John 1 and 1. Then we get to Genesis 1 and 1, and we see that now we're getting creation of the earth, of the earth, right? But the days before that was made, that's what I'm saying. You have to follow me. There were still days before that, right? That the Father, the Creator, was in. Like I said, John 1 and 1 is not the same with Genesis 1 and 1, right? Yeah, he don't understand this order. I don't see how a father and a son can have the same day. Come on, man. You 20 years old and you have a son. Come on, man. You gotta make it make sense, man. Yes, the Father did use Christ to create the heavens and earth. That's right, he did. But do you understand that there was a time frame before that where Christ was created himself? Who is the Ancient of Days? The Ancient of Days is the Father. Nothing is before the Creator. Okay, if the Creator created Christ, what was before the Creator? Do you not understand that? What was before the Creator? What was before the Creator? The Ancient of Days, and we simply going off Daniel 7 and 9. But again, another point, I got to get out of here, man. I appreciate the cheat code. You got to dip in the class tomorrow with Capt Jerubbaal, and he can probably deal with you a little bit too. Or Sunday, you can time in with Capt Benaniyah, because his class is called Want the Smoke, and he want all the smoke, man. That's right. So another key point that happened in the 7th month was the Noah's Ark. It was found in the 7th month, right? It came to a rest in the 7th month. Let's go to Genesis chapter 8 right quick. Start at verse 1. And God remembered Noah and every living creature and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters were assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountain of Ararat. So we see the ark rested upon the 7th month, right? In the 17th day. That was another historical fact that happened within the 7th month. Also, this is going into the end of the harvest, the fruit harvest, or the wheat harvest. Right now, the 7th month is really going into the end of the harvest. So I hope brothers and sisters got some understanding of this class. I pray that the Father was with us today to give us wisdom and knowledge. Our praises to brothers and sisters for tuning in. Like I said, cheat code, y'all come on back in, man, tomorrow. If y'all want to get into it a little more, I said my class is going to be about 45 minutes. This is an hour 30. All praises to the Father, though, for this great class. This is the 7th month that we are in. And I pray, brothers and sisters, you have as much understanding and understand what they should be doing in this 7th month. We always say keep the laws of the Most High God. So we always want to leave you with a law. We are law keepers, so we always want to leave you with a great law. And thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in and putting precepts in the chat. Some of the precepts y'all put in were great precepts. Thank y'all for that. The water. Continue to keep doing that to build yourselves up, right? The law we're going to leave with tonight is Leviticus 23 and 39. Because, well, we'll go with 27 because that's coming up first. Leviticus 23 and 27 will be the law for tonight. Also, on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And ye shall do no servile work in that same day. No work in that same day. For it is the day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God. That is the law for tonight. We have Day of Atonement coming up. For us, it will be on the 30th, 31st. All praise to the Father. With that, I say Shalom, Israel. Y'all have a blessed night. Hey, Don still giving them. Hey, give it to him.